Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I am doing a video of updates because it's been, I think, about 10 months since I kind of last posted. So let's get into it. So unfortunately, starting off with the losses of 2025, on the 7th of May, I lost Kiki, who was one of my budgies, who was about 6.5 years old at the time. He had been struggling for quite a few months, probably coming near to a year, more with his health. So I think I mentioned before in some of his videos in 2024 when he had some bad health, that when I first got him, when he was about 8 weeks old, we already knew he was disabled physically with his feet, and when we did his initial checkup, when we first got him, and Ocean, his brother, we found out, well, the vets told us that he has or had a weakened heart because of the disability, so he was a bit more vulnerable to immunity attacks and things like that. So he did have his fair share of things go on over his lifetime, but was able to bounce back for the most part. But with this issue, he was then unable to fly. He was really struggling with his breathing and getting lethargic quickly, so he was on various medicines for a while. And his quality of life wasn't very good. He was starting to get an overgrown beak very easily. So at this point, even though his breathing was struggling, we felt like it was still worth giving it a go to go and have his beak trimmed so that he was still able to eat, even though I was assisting him with some eating and monitoring that and making sure he was having some water and everything like that. So we took him in on that Wednesday, the 7th of May. Well, my dad took him in because I was at work, and unfortunately he was just so weak at that point that his heart did fail, and he did pass away when the vets was holding him. He passed away pretty peacefully before they even started to get anything out to trim his beak. It was just too stressful. He had too much stress on his heart, and yeah, he passed away. So that was really hard to hear when my dad came to work and he told me. And Ocean and Pinto did take a while to adjust to that. It was quite difficult on them. They made very close bonds with Kiki. Kiki was kind of the boss, even though he was a bit disabled and stuff. He still ruled the roost and, told them what's what. And that was really, really tough. And then the following Wednesday, on the 14th of May, I lost Bertie, my Robo dwarf hamster. Now, I hadn't had him long. I'd had him since, I think, the 19th of December in 2024. And I noticed on the Monday, so the Monday the 12th, that he seemed quite puffy. Like his fur was sticking up. He just seemed very unwell. And I was going to call the vets on Thursday morning for an appointment that Thursday, because that was the day I was off work, and I wanted to be there with him in case he did have to get put down. But when I got back, he was there Wednesday morning. I saw him. He was out, still not looking good, but he was out having a drink, having some food. And then on the Wednesday afternoon, when I came back from work, he had passed away and he was out in the open in his cage. It seemed like he maybe had fallen and he couldn't get up off his back, which was really awful to see. So that was really tough as well. That was quite a traumatic passing for him. And yeah, that really, along with just life in general and work and things like that, it meant that I didn't have much time or motivation to post on YouTube. So I was just trying to process things and just crack on with, looking after the rest of the pets as best I could. So yeah, that was unfortunately kind of start of summertime what happened, which initially started me off with a long break from YouTube without any kind of clear reasoning to you guys, so I do apologise I didn't update you. Then moving forward to October in 2025, Dior had been showing signs of aging and was approximately 2 years old by this point. I was monitoring her eating and activities a bit more, making sure she'd come out to get something when I wasn't able to see her, if she wasn't out when I'd gone in to check on her. And she was just slowing down, and she did thankfully just naturally pass away in her sleep. I'd noticed one day when she hadn't come out for her usual treats, that she did come out during the night at some point to get, that she hadn't got them, so I went to check on her, and she was still breathing, but the breathing was slowing down. She was non-responsive to me, so I knew at that point it was her slowly passing, which was really hard to see, but I was just glad that she had a really good life, and about 1.5 years with me, nearly 2 years I think, and that she passed away naturally, really, because that's like the best thing you can get with small animals that are prone to getting different cancers and things like that, and just ultimately just knowing that you've given them a good life and that they're at peace is very, very nice, really. So yeah, moving on to pets that I have adopted up to this point, but it was all in 2025, different points. So before I lost Kiki and Bertie in April, I did get Reef and Marina, 2 new Goldfish, because Coral actually really enjoyed the company of Winter, and likewise Winter enjoyed Coral's company. But Winter passed away in 2024, which I have a video about that. And you just notice when an animal's just not right, not happy. We'd had so many months of Coral being on her own, and she just wasn't very interactive. She wasn't herself. She was a bit more not lethargic, but she just stayed more at the bottom of the tank, a bit sulky and things like that. So when we decided to change the layout of the tank, get a few new pieces of decor, some natural branches and rocks and things like that, just to make it a bit better for her, we decided also to get 2 new Goldfish, and yeah, she really perked up seeing them loads, and she's really happy, and they're quite a nice trio. They're really nice to watch. They're quite active, she's got back her activeness again, loving to swim lengths with them, and they're just quite, they school together. It's very nice to watch. Next up, I got Atticus, who is a male mouse, and I adopted, I think, on the 12th of August last year. So I saw that someone who lives locally, who owns lots of mice, they also sometimes take in people's mice who they can't look after them anymore. So she kind of does little rescues, but she isn't a actual rescue charity or anything. She just does it herself with her own funds and everything. And she had taken in I'd say fairly big group of mice. I think someone had got a bit overwhelmed. There were mixed genders in there, so they were obviously having babies. It was getting a bit out of control, and they were just reaching out for help, and she took them on. So we're separating them out into the different sexes, and then they were able to then be on pregnancy watch if they were girls, and then the boys of the proper age were able to have homes. Some of them she wanted to keep herself because she really liked them, but Atticus was one of the ones that wasn't already reserved, that was looking for a home, so I decided to get him because if anyone already knows, I have mentioned, I think a few years ago in one of my videos, that I would really like to own mice, so this was a very good opportunity. So I had a spare 120 by 60 centimetre Hope's Healthy Treats enclosure, so I built that and got it all kitted out for him. And yeah, went to go pick him up on that Friday. He was about 5 to 6 months old, she estimated, and she said that he was just really friendly and loving and tame, which she was showing me on the pictures and when I went to pick him up, which was really nice. And he has only grown in this area. He is really funny. He loves crawling all over me, like sitting on my shoulder. Sometimes he tries to go down my jumper, he'll climb in my hair. He's quite affectionate, which is just really, really sweet. So I'm very glad I adopted him as well. Finally, moving on to Frida. I adopted her on the 1st of November at 8.5 weeks old. She is meant to be a Patterdale Terrier. I got her from Dogs Trust, so she is currently 7 months old when I'm recording this, and she has completed and passed 2 loads of puppy class training stuff. So she has done her basic puppy class and her foundational course, which is very good. She is extremely clever, and yeah, you'll be seeing lots more about her and the others in future videos. As for myself, I've had some kind of difficult, sad and challenging times throughout the last year, but God is definitely faithful, for sure, always and forever faithful, and He is my ever-present help in trouble. Love that verse, I'll put it up on the screen. He does continue to bring me through all the difficulties and show His love and light to me each day, and I hope to continue to grow in faith as we continue to go into 2026. We're already in March when I'm filming this, but yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of months ahead. We'll see what's going to happen, what God's got for us, and I hope you'll stick around and continue to join us on this journey. So thank you very much for watching. God bless and take care, everyone. Bye.